Hey guys, welcome back. It's Jen with Happy Humble Home, and today we're going to be doing some of these broccoli seed sprouts. So before we get into setting these up, make sure you ring the bell and don't forget to subscribe. Let's jump right into it. So these are some organic seed sprouts that are broccoli. They're from Mowing organic seeds. And yeah, we're just going to jump right in. We also have our quart-size mason jar. This is a wide mouth jar. And then the little sprouting lid. You can see it has the holes in it, and there's no mesh or anything. But the little sprouting lid, which this is it says to get just to cap it. So this just happens to be a wide mouth fitting one. I don't know if they have a regular mouth or not. I'll leave the little link in the description box to where you can purchase these. So we're just going to jump right into this, y'all. I've never actually made these up. I have no idea how they work. I honestly don't even know if I've ever tasted them. But it's very interesting to see all the nutritional effects, all the nutritional benefits, I should say, rather. All the nutritional benefits of these sprouts in general, but especially, more specifically, of these broccoli sprouts. And these are organic ones. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take our clean, dry, quart-sized mason jar, and we're going to fill it up with 2 cups of water. This water I just got from our Berkey. So there we go. So about halfway, roughly. And we're going to place 1 tablespoon of sprouting seeds in our jar. Okay, so we just pour it in like so. And it says to use cool, fresh water. Again, this is just our Berkey water. And I'm just going to leave it like that. So the first step is to leave it in here, and we're going to put our lid on it. And we're supposed to let it soak for about 2 hours. And then I will check back in with y'all in 2 hours as we go ahead and go on to our next step. All right, guys, so it has been 2 hours. So now what we're supposed to do is we're just going to kind of slosh this around a little bit. So we're going to drain this water out through our lid here that has the holes in it. So I'm just going to go drain this off real quick, and then we're going to put fresh water in, and I'll show you from there. So let me go drain this. Okay, so you can still see there's a little bit of water in there. We're just going to put some more fresh water in. This is just Berkey water. I didn't necessarily measure it this time just because we're rinsing it again. So we're just going to rinse it off again. So we're just kind of rinsing them. Just going to rinse it. So now we're going to go drain it again, and then okay, so we've drained it, and now we're just supposed to leave it upside down, kind of in an angle like that in the bowl, so that way it can drain extra. And now we're supposed to let it set for 8 to 12 hours, and we're going to do the same process of rinse it, drain it, let it set for 8 to 12 hours, and we're going to do the same process for 4 to 5 days. It does say on the 5th day that you can move them in indirect sunlight to green up a little bit, but I'm not 100% sure where I'm supposed to set them in, like, during the 4 to 5 days. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave them setting in this jar just kind of like that. I wonder if maybe if I need to, no, it's definitely draining. So I'm just going to leave it setting like this, and I'm just going to put it over here kind of tucked in a little corner in my cabinet, or tucked in the corner in the kitchen, so it will still get indirect light, but not full, but not as much indirect light. It's kind of tucked in a little corner. So we'll see where we're at. So I'll check in with y'all tomorrow when we do the same process. All right, guys, so it's been probably about 8.5 hours or so. So we're just going to do the whole rinse and repeat thing. So I'm just going to put a little bit of water in this from my Berkey again. I just put about that much, about a half a jar maybe, a little less perhaps. So we're just going to kind of slosh it all down. Well, I said this whole rinse and repeat process, rinse and drain process is what we're supposed to do 4 to 5 days, about every 8 to 12 hours. So I said at this point it's been about 8.5. So we're just going to dump the water out and then leave it kind of upside down in the jar so it can continue to drain. You know what? I'm actually going to get a smaller bowl. I'm going to get a smaller bowl so that way it can kind of stay, it won't slip as much. I can kind of get it more at an angle. That definitely drains better. So we're just going to leave it like this and we'll check on it in the morning. Okay, all right. Alright, that's fine. Just stay with him until I get done. Alright, hey guys, so we are on day 3 of our broccoli sprouts, and you can definitely see, it's kind of hard to see on camera, but how they're actually starting to sprout more. So it's been right at 10 hours since I last rinsed them. So we're just basically filling them up with water, rinsing, and then draining. We're not filling all the way up, but about like that. Filling up and draining, and then you can see it better with the lid off. You see all the little sprouts starting there, and you can definitely see a lot more from day 1. So this is day 3, and we're just basically pouring some fresh water in here. Like I said, I'm using the Berkey still, and we're just kind of slosh it around, mix it up good, and then we drain the water off. And I have been keeping it over here on the counter, kind of in a little shadier spot. And I'm going to kind of push it back in the shadows a little bit more today. And I have, instead of leaning my jar, instead of let it lean like this, I did figure out I can kind of do this more with it, so that way it drains more. And so we're just going to leave these for another 8 to 12 hours, and I'll show y'all what they're like on day 4. All right, hey guys, so it is day 4, and I did this morning, I went ahead and did the first little rinse and all, and you can definitely see how much they've grown. You can even see a couple little root sprouts there through the end. You can definitely tell, like, these are the ones, see the ones that are still not sprouted yet. So we're going to go ahead and do this again. This will be our second rinse for today. So same as before, we'll just pour in some water. And I did decide not to keep my jar almost pretty much all the way upside down. I did decide to go ahead and leave it back at an angle. You can see how much water's kind of gathered there off the sprouts. So that way, whenever they do start sprouting, they're not sticking through my lid, which is what I had happen to a couple. So we're just going to give that a good shake. Dump out the water. And this time, and usually I just go ahead and stick it in there like that. This time I'm going to rotate it and see if I can get these seeds up here to kind of sprout a little bit more. All right, guys, so today is technically day 6 because I didn't record or rinse them at all on day 5. And you can see there's still quite a few. I don't know if they weren't viable seeds at all, because I know when I was letting them soak, several, there was quite a few that was floating to the top, and then all the other ones sunk. So you can kind of see here all the different ones, but this is day 6 technically, because like I said, I didn't record on day 5. So I'm going to pour these out in a little bowl here, and we will see what all we have exactly. So yeah, so these are, trying to get all the little seeds out best I can, but I'm just gonna rinse these apart. They smell just like broccoli. And let's see how I'm trying not to get seeds on them here. But let's see. I mean, they hardly have any taste at all. Like broccolis taste a lot stronger. Like you can tell a little bit, but yeah. So these are how the seeds have went after 4 or 5 days.